So as we know, Need for Speed is getting updates for what? Manual transmission and also drag. So those two things straight away make me think, right, well, I need to build my favorite muscle car in the game, don't I? So I built my Challenger, obviously putting a nice BlackPanthaa sticker on it, seal of approval, if you will. Then going on to it and making it just so defined. I don't know why it took so long, and it's like we had a limited time, obviously, to record these, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put stickers perfectly on the fenders on both sides. And I'm going to do it. I'm not going to stop until it's absolutely perfect. But it looked freaking awesome, so I think it was kind of worth it. But then the black color was slightly off of what the bonnet was, so I mean that was well, a little bit disappointing. But I managed to do it pretty well. I copied over pretty well, just a few slight adjustments, and it looked pretty awesome on both sides. Anyway, so the Challenger, there's nothing new with it. It's still a Challenger. It's still how it is. But I wanted to select some rims that just said muscle car. I actually got the idea from Tomcat. He actually put these tires on another car, and that's why I thought, oh my god, I need to do that. So I whipped out my favorite muscle car, and like, look, I built this car based on the fact that I wanted bigger tires at the back. Let's just point that out right there. I didn't want to put them on the front because it looked a bit funky, so I went with some different tires, some different rims on the front. So it just adds a little bit more of the, you know, that the bigger tire at the back, smaller, well, normal at the front, if that makes sense. And obviously, we have to put Murica on the back window because you can't not put Murica on the back window with this new text editor. You're gonna put so much stupid stuff. Anyway, so this first race, this is my first drag race on this build, and it was against Robin in his Evo. So it kind of wasn't very fair, but it shows that I actually at one point managed to keep up pretty well, and then he nossed off. So it shows that NOS is going to have a big kind of input on these type of events. When you use NOS, maybe the type of NOS you use, obviously time NOS is going to be better than action NOS for these type of events, because obviously you can't drift around, and if you do drift around, you're going to lose speed. But anyway, the shifting times and the NOS and just everything works together to make this feel really, really awesome, really, really quick. Some of them are a little bit longer, some of them a little bit shorter. I personally prefer the shorter ones. The shorter one seems more, you know, you need to get that absolutely perfect run, otherwise you are, that's it, mate. It's game over. But again, I think you should probably do it with a bit more better matched cars. Once you get your friends against your friends on these events, that's when these events really do shine. I'm going to be using these for obviously budget builds and multiplayer with you guys. Just jump into these drag events, time everything perfectly as you can see here, and off you go. Now, do I have any tips for these drag events? Now, if you're on a little bit of a budget, obviously, superchargers are probably your best bet. That's one thing I found with Need for Speed. If you've got a little bit of money, don't whack in a turbo, because that's a bit silly. Whack in a supercharger, and that thing is going to launch you quicker. It's going to get you going to your higher speeds much quicker. So obviously, it's useful to throw that in if you're going to be doing drag builds in general. But you may find that on the longer ones, obviously, turbos are going to help. It's going to be cool and interesting to just see how, you know, as I said, these events are very, very different, and it means you need to set up so kind of basically a completely different car to what you would normally set up. Along with the fact that manual transmission now gives you more control of the gears, as I said, it's going to make for some very interesting races, very interesting indeed. And again, it would also be interesting to then get one of these events, and it's probably the best way to try out and see which is quicker when you get, you know, low-end, fully upgraded car and a high-end, not so upgraded car. I can't wait to try something like that with this new update. Now, for manual transmission itself, I just wanted to talk about just that in itself for a little while. From what I found, it does, as I said, really help. If you watched the previous video, I've already said that, but how does it help? So, one thing I found is obviously you can extend the gears more than the game normally would. It's not going to auto shift up early prematurely, so you're going to get the most out of the gears. And you know, it's not real life, so you don't have to worry about mucking your clutch up anytime soon, so don't worry about that. But again, with the drifting and with how the slides work, normally it would shift up and you'd have a loss of power when you've been in a slide, for example, or it would shift in some way that you don't want it to. More so up, you'd obviously lose a bit more power of being able to break out of that slide. So it makes slides a little easier to control. Once you actually try it yourself, tomorrow is when the update goes live. You're definitely going to know exactly what I mean by how this helps. But there you go. That was a cheeky little video showing you this Challenger with the manual transmission and the drag races. So if you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below on this update, and what's the first car you're going to build? That's what I know. It's probably the Hot Rods, isn't it? Probably is. Anyway, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon. Peace.